What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Belle Collective, season 2, episode 8, I guess. Episode 8 or something. I don't know. This is the season finale, and we're gonna have a 2-part reunion, honey. So I guess we're gonna round it up to 10 episodes. So we start this episode off. We are still at Marie's event after Tambra storms out, and Keisha say, "Listen, I don't like this. Even though right now me and Tambra ain't in a good place, you know, I'm going to rock with my sister because I feel like y'all done brought this side chick up in here to cause problems and commotion, and I ain't going to have no parts of it. I don't want to have no parts of this." And she rolled out. And so Marie was like, "I don't understand what's going on. Like, Tasha, whatever the child name is, she's my event planner, and she's always at my events. Now, I don't remember seeing her at none of your other events, Marie, but okay, girl, okay." And her daughter was sitting there. And she's sitting there having this whole conversation about how she was messing with this dude and how she thinks the dates overlap with Tambra's dates. And she said, and I don't even know why Tambra mad anyway, because Tambra was engaged to a whole nother dude. Now, I'm going to say this in defense of Tambourine. And y'all know I don't even really do Tambourine like that. But last season, we do know, remember her and old boy just got back together. They were together for many years. They broke up. And so maybe in that time period when they broke up, she was engaged to a whole nother person. Her and old boy just got back together. So I really think that this whole situation comes down to, I do think the mom messed with that girl at one point in time. But I do think it just was, I think it was a time when he wasn't with Tambourine. I do not think he messed with her while he was with Tambourine. I don't believe that. Anyway, Marie was like, "Listen, child, I didn't know what was going on." And Letitia was like, "Well, if you had called me, girl, I would have told you. If you had told me she was coming." And she was like, "I don't need to be running. Like, I can't get into the habit of running my guest list past people just to find out who I can and can't invite." And Latrice was like, "Yeah, ain't nobody doing all of that." But they all still feel like that you know, Tambourine is hiding something. Child, I don't know, and I don't even care because I don't even think it's that deep. But I do not like the attitude that Tambourine has about the whole situation. But child, whatever. So then we see Latrice. We found out that Latrice done moved out. I mean, Golden Goddess child. She done moved out of her house. I mean, temporarily, because her and Zaddy just can't seem to get along over this whole baby situation. Okay, she don't want no baby. He don't understand. They've been arguing, and she tired of arguing. So she done moved over to her brother's house. And they have this whole conversation, and her brother basically tells her, "Girl, you need to go home and talk to your husband, okay? Like, I understand where you're coming from, but you don't want to wait until you're 40 and then decide you want to have a baby, and then it's going to be hard for you to have a baby, or it might even be too late." And she was like, "Yeah, but I just, listen. Like I said last week, and you don't want a baby, and it's okay. You don't have to explain or justify that. But what you do have to do is have a hard conversation with your husband. Because he's the only person that really, it matters." Now, Akeisha had her event where she is reintroducing herself to the high society women of Jackson. And she's having a nice little luncheon. And of course, she invites all the ladies, and she invites all the movers and shakers in Jackson. It looked like it was a really, really nice event. And Letitia, see, I got Latrice's name right when I was looking for Letitia. Anyway, Letitia is hating the whole time. But let me say this, and as much as Akeisha gets on my nerves, look, I gotta call a thing when it's a thing. The brunch looked nice, and it looked, I said brunch. The luncheon looks nice, and it looks like what Latrice be trying to make her brunches look like. Letitia be trying to make her brunches look like, okay? You had the who's who there. It was a nice organized event. It was people all over the place. It was full of people. And then she even did a nice little PowerPoint presentation about Fair Street and what it means to her and the history of it. And then she put nice little drawings of what her vision of Fair Street looks like. And she infused all of the different businesses of the people she invited, the women she invited. She infused them on the street and showed where their business could possibly be onto Fair Street. Now listen, like I said, Letitia was sitting over there hating the whole time. I mean, I don't like the way she did it, but it was nice. It was a nice event. I mean, it was, but I just don't like, I support this project, and I'm the person that started it. And so as long as it gets done, that's fine by me. Whatever that looks like. Girl. A girl. First of all, that luncheon don't look nothing like that. Don't look nothing like the 3 brunches we done seen you have. Okay, that's number one. And number two, girl, she don't need your permission. It looked like she's doing fine. Because I found it very interesting that she had all these write ups and everything. And I don't see her running into no problems with the people that she was having problems with last year. You better work with her, and because it looked like you're gonna get more working with her than working against her. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents, honey. That's my 2 cents. Now, when they got done with the presentation and stuff, Marie had a conversation with Tambourine and told her, "Girl, look, I did not know about this whole situation with you and the side chick. I did not know nothing about it. I wasn't trying to start no stuff. I wasn't trying to have no problems. I was just trying for us to celebrate my success. This was about me. It wasn't about you, okay? Now, Tambourine talking about something. I mean, I hear what she's telling me, but I don't know if I could trust her. What's she lying for? Although I do think it was a setup. Let me be clear. But girl, it's just not that serious. Moving on. She said her and Damon are moving in together. Her and Damon are happy. Her and Damon. So I can't live happily ever after. Have your baby girl. So then we see Marie looking for her mom. Now this was probably the saddest part of the episode. Marie loaded up that cargo van. Her, Essie, and Letitia got in that cargo van, and they drove down to the hood. They probably went to the worst part of Jackson, and she finally, after driving around all day, she finally found her mama at the trap house. And she even said a couple of times, "They down at the trap house. We at the trap house." And she gets her mother to come outside, and her mama talking about something. She said, "Well, Mom, I've been looking for you. I miss you. What's going on?" Her mama said, "I'm good. She said, "Let me get $30. She said, "Well, come on down here and talk to me. Come to Diane's house and talk to me." She was like, "All right, I'll meet you down there, but let me get $30. She said, "No, I give you meet me down there." Now, she never said I give you the money, but she said, okay, but meet me down there. She said, "Matter of fact, come with me now." She said, my cigarettes, my purse, everything in the house. I can't just come now. She said, "Well, go ahead and get your stuff. I'll wait for you." She said, "Okay, you gonna give me $20? And her mother never came back out. And production finally made them leave because they were literally just sitting out front of the damn trap house. And they said they waited for about 30 minutes and her mother never came back out. I know that was frustrating. And listen, let me tell you something. We give Marie a lot of shit. I know we do. But Marie probably has given us the most authentic version of herself on this show. Last season, we had the storyline with her son getting violent and punching the wall. We saw her talk about her son and all his churn and how she's had to take the churn over and try to build relationships with these mamas. She shared with us her lupus journey. Now, I don't know about the whole situation with her and her ex-husband. That's a little shaky, but okay. Then this season, again, what happened with her, with the mother of her grandson and that whole situation. And now her mom. Like, Marie is giving us real. Now, we could talk about them wigs. But Marie definitely is really opening up and giving us the most authentic version of herself. And I felt for her in this moment. I mean, I definitely felt for her because that was real. You out there driving around looking for your mama, and she said, "I can't do it no more. Like, that's it. I'm not going to look for her anymore." And, she said, "I just have to come to the realization that this might be the last time I see my mom alive. Like, I just have to accept that." And, I'm going to be honest, I've had to do that. I had to do that with a family member growing up. I had a family member, a close family member who had a really bad drug addiction. And I had made up in my mind that the last time I saw them might just be the last time I saw them. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It's a hard thing to have. It's a hard reality and conclusion to have to come to, Latrice and Zaddy make up. Zaddy hurt himself at work, child. Damn near cut his arm off. And, don't nothing bring people back together than tragedy. They called her. She had to go get him from the hospital. He got his hand bandaged up. And she said that made her realize, that the last things I said to you and the fact that I was mad at you and, you really could have died today, because he damn near cut his arm off. He almost cut to the bone. And they had a conversation about tone and communication. But at the end of the day, don't none of that matter. Don't nothing change because Zaddy want a baby and Tisha don't, okay? Latrice don't. Now, she thought she was pregnant. They had a little pregnancy scare. She took a test. She ain't pregnant. She relieved. He not. He talking about something. That's okay, because she'll be pregnant by the by next year. And she gave him that look like, yeah, okay, wait on it. Child, she don't want a baby. I don't know what else to tell y'all. She don't want no baby. Okay. Child, then we have Letitia and Glenn in counseling. Child. I don't even know where to start with this counseling situation. First of all, Glenn said he had started going to counseling on his own. And so he brought her into counseling, and she was like, I really appreciate that Glenn wants to go to counseling. And he even had the counselor meet him down in my office because Glenn know I'm busy. Busy doing what? Girl, you and your enterprises. Anyway, at the end of the day, Glenn don't want his wife back. Glenn is not so much worried about having his wife back so much as Glenn wants his family back. Glenn wants them in the house. He wants them under his control. Glenn wants to control their situation. I do not think that Glenn is sad at all about what happened. I don't believe that he is apologetic about what happened. I believe he probably mad he got caught. He starts throwing out depression and everything, and Latrice was like, what you talking about? Like, what do you mean when you were crying out for help, I wasn't there for you? And basically what it boils down to is she started having other interests outside of him, and he couldn't handle it. She started doing the show. She started getting, probably getting bookings and arrangements and people wanting to call her and making her own money, and he couldn't handle it. That's it. His ego couldn't handle it. And for you to put all of that on her is the reason why you stepped out when your ass been cheating on her for years. Like this, you've been cheating on her for years. That alleged baby that you don't know whether it's yours or not, that baby, that was 6 years ago, they said. So you're not going to tell me, so this been going on for 6 years? Way by. You stepped out because you could. And at the end of the day, she was supposed to sit in that house and wait for you to come home when you came home. Take care of that baby. Take care of that house. Have a hot meal waiting for you. And when she stopped doing that, you ain't know what to do with yourself. And when she had the audacity to actually move out and say, I don't want this anymore, you really didn't know how to act. So you did everything you thought you needed to do in order to convince her to come back home. And you know what? You got her. You got her. She came back home. She decided to give y'all a second chance. And what did we find out at the end of the episode? You cheated again. You cheated again. Which I knew that was going to happen. Because it was never about really wanting to fix your marriage. It was about getting your wife back home. Looks like at the reunion we find out whether he really the father of that child. But at this point, does it really matter anymore? If after all of this, she moved back in and then she caught you cheating again, does it even matter if he's the father of that child at this point? Well, so Gucci got a billboard up and she's expanding her real estate empire. It looks like they broke ground on Akeisha, probably their restaurant, the beer garden that they have. Looks like they broke ground. It doesn't, I don't know if they're across the street from, it's on an open plot. So it's not one of those historical buildings that they can't tear down. So I don't know if it's Ferris Street adjacent or across the street or whatever. But she broke ground on the building, child. Like I said, Letitia moved out, moved back in, child. I mean, moved in, moved back out, child. Latrice moved out. She found a new space, so she moved out. And Golden Locks is expanding. And Marie is doing her thing. She's opening up her clinics and just keeping her mama in prayer. So that's really what the episode was. We tied it all up. Tambourine, like I told y'all, she having a baby. She moving in with Damon. She said the ring on the way. No, it's not. The ring not on the way. You know why the ring not on the way? Because you're giving him the whole cow. Why he gonna buy it? You moving in and you having a baby? Why would you think there's a ring coming? You're not demanding it. You're not holding out for it. You're not holding. Girl, bye. We'll see what happens down to the reunion, honey. But that's the episode. That is the finale of the Belle Collective. Let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.